Embiid pointed the finger at Ben Simmons after the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's hard to get even back into that locker room when people looking at you and they kind of like, man, we can't, the doubt starts to set in strongly when you passing up opportunities to score and you giving it to somebody else because for whatever reason, and everybody has their own theories as to why he struggles shooting the ball, why he won't. I think it's mentally. Some people think he's afraid, which in the end is the same thing.
Mental, yeah.
It's so it's kind of like.
But he doesn't trust his skill. That's the bigger issue. He's not trusting a fundamental skill right now, and that's something they've got to work on with him.
See, you say that, but that may not be it. It just may be mental.
That's still
or it
mental.
May be,
but no, trust is a mental thing too.
Hey, or it may be not trusting the skill.
Yeah. Hey, playing your butt off defensively, garbage buckets, layups, like all the hustle things. Like I don't think that part is mental. I think even for Ben, he's still working through his identity for real in the league. Like we had all of these things that we thought. Like
he's 24 years old.
Right, but if he's gonna lean into being a defensive guy, a hustle guy, energy guy, like a transition player, then cool. But this idea that you're the facilitating, outstanding point guard that can run a team and get us to the finals.
All right, well, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. We want to ask you, because we were thinking about this as well, if they're going to make a move, like where would be a good fit, but how about a player like him and where he's at right now? Would you want him on your team? Now, remember, you got to give up something. So, of course, anybody would take him for free. But I'm saying, would you want him on your team knowing what you know about his game right now? Now, Key, we were trying to figure out, too, how do you compare on a football side? Like, Ben Simmons is a guy that has a ton of talent, but the one most important fundamental skill he lacks, which is ability to shoot the basketball from outside of, 8 feet?
God,
he's not a good shooter. And now at the free throw line, he was abysmal to a point where he doesn't even trust himself. So is there a football equivalent to that? Is that a wide receiver that might have great speed and, separation, but he just can't catch?
No, that's bad hands.
That's just bad. But that's a fundamental skill of being a receiver.
But if you got bad hands, you got bad hands.
Is it a quarterback that can read? I know I can see the field. I read defenses really well. I can move. But I just can't throw the ball. I can't throw. Like I miss the target every time.
That feels closer to me.
That's a bad quarterback.
But I can see I have all the things that I need, but I can't make the pass.
What you're saying that Ben Simmons is a bad.
Ben Simmons is Tim Tebow. Did he just say that?
No. What? See, you guys keep saying bad point guard. I don't think he's a bad point guard.
He's got great vision. He's
I think
a great
he does
passer.
all that, so that's not a bad point guard.
He's a great defender.
He can do all of those things, right? His problem is being afraid. It's afraid of the moment.
I hear you, but you are a $1 million athlete. You are a professional. You've had the promise. Get me a sports psychologist and let's go. What are we doing? Like, this is pissing me off.
I believe confidence comes from demonstrated performance. But lack of confidence also comes from demonstrated performance. And I believe what he's seeing is the more he misses shots, the lack of being able to shoot a three, seeing how defenses play him, it does mess with your head.
And bring it all down and boil it in one little pot. He's afraid.
So what's the solution, Key?
And he asked me originally who. It's a wide receiver. Because the harder they hit, the wider the split. Which means that when I got to go in there where that traffic is at, that's not really, I don't want to do that. I'd rather be out on the numbers, closer to the sideline. So I don't have, with the smaller guys that I know are not going to hit and tackle, because I'm afraid to go in there with those guys with bad intentions. And that's the same thing.
What is the solution to your hypothetical football player and to Ben? What is the solution?
He is what he is. And that's who that guy is. That when you talk about a wide receiver that all he wants to do is run straight and not turn left or right because of bad intentions, all Ben Simmons wants to do is play defense, pass, facilitate, and that's who he is. You cannot all of a sudden take him and make him into this shooter because he
No, you can't make him a shooter.
But
But what's the difference between him and Giannis? Because Giannis is not a good shooter. We know this.
But Giannis is not afraid. He's not afraid. When you are, and I don't want to use the word, but I'm going to use it, but I don't want to. Well, in football, I'll say it in football. There's a lot of guys in football that don't want to get hit a certain way. It becomes cowardly-like. Like, I'm tough over here, but when I got to do this, I'm going to turn that down every single time.
They call that a business decision.
Yeah, a business decision. Ben Simmons makes business decisions when he doesn't shoot the basketball because it ultimately, that business decision is going to affect some of the other things that he's doing because it affects his mental. And that's the receiver position, the guys that don't want to go inside and do the dirty work. And that's kind of where Ben Simmons is in terms of shooting the basketball. Because much like Monica says, you just shoot the ball, man.
You're never the solution.
Just shoot it.
Exactly. You will never get over this hump if you don't just shoot it.
But does he need it? Maybe does he need though that fresh start, that new environment somewhere where he'll be welcomed, and maybe even a coach that'll say, as Keith said,
I promise
he is who he is. So, but I'm going to use you in a way that I don't have to worry about that.
And maybe the Sixers, and maybe the Sixers,
Washington,
and maybe the Sixers, if they decide to hold on to Ben, do that. They say, you know what?
Well, that's what Doc was saying.
He is who he is. This is what we're going to do with him. We can't do that with him. And it happens with players in football. It's like, I don't like the way he's running the ball. He's an inside guy. We're just going to use him in the inside. So we got to have somebody else.
This is a guy who's an all-star, and he's only 24. And it's amazing to think that this franchise, which gave up so much, the process to get to this level, you're ready to give up on him. Because some other franchise might say, I'm going to benefit from this.
He's not the 1A cog in the process. And so I would agree that maybe Doc can say it is what it is. Let's work with him. If Joel Embiid wasn't your main guy, you cannot put him in a system and he's your 1B and he needs to be in the paint and you have Joel there. Like, it just doesn't work.